Let's talk a little bit more about the proposed federal gas tax holiday by bringing in Ohio Republican Congressman Bill Johnson of the House Energy Committee. Good to see you again. You know, many of your colleagues in Congress not yet backing this on both sides of the aisle. We heard House Speaker Nancy Pelosi isn't necessarily saying whether she would vote for this or not. But first of all, why do you think that is, and where do you stand?
Well, I can tell you, even President Obama called this a gimmick when he was in office, because it really is just simply a gimmick. The American people may not ever see the benefits of a gas tax holiday. The gas tax is levied at the refinery or at the import terminal. If it's imported gasoline, it's not levied at the pump. And so any rise in the price of oil to refine that into gasoline would be passed on to the consumer. So it's entirely possible that the American people would never, ever see this 18.4% reduction as a result of a gas tax holiday. And not to mention, in your reporter in the previous segment just mentioned it, you're talking about putting billions of dollars in a hole in the Highway Trust Fund. And that was supposed to pay for a part of this massive so-called bipartisan infrastructure bill that the president pushed through just a couple of months ago.
The president actually spoke exactly to this topic yesterday when questioned by reporters who said, all of this money that the gas tax funds for these infrastructure projects, it would be threatened. And he says, no, we just passed this humongous infrastructure bill. So are you saying that part of the funding for that infrastructure bill comes from gas tax money?
Well, the Highway Trust Fund was part of the formula for the infrastructure program in the first place. That was a $1.2 trillion program, and over $600 billion of it was unpaid for. So keeping that Highway Trust Fund up to maximum capacity and solvency was important. Look, I'm not saying that funding the Highway Trust Fund with a gas tax on the backs of the American people is the right way to go. We've known for years that the gas tax doesn't adequately fund the Highway Trust Fund. We should actually be taking some of the revenue, for example, off of oil and gas development on public lands, ANWR, other public lands. We could channel that toward the Highway Trust Fund and give the American people a break. But the administration won't even consider that because they've stamped down on the ability to produce oil on public lands.
Now, I do have to go back to a point that you made about former President Barack Obama mentioning that a gas tax holiday would be a gimmick. Let's just say that's true. And a lot of Republicans are saying the same thing and using the former president's words to make their point. What do we need to do now to bring immediate relief to American families who are having so much of a struggle in filling up their gas tanks right now?
Look, you could make almost immediate results, immediate impact on bringing down the cost of gasoline at the pump if the president would simply go back to the policies that created our energy independence just a few short months ago under the previous administration. We need to open up development on public lands. We need to streamline the pipeline permitting process so that we can get our resources to the refineries, to the market. This is not on the backs of the oil and gas companies. It's not a result of Putin's war in Russia. This is a failure of President Biden's policies. He knows that, and he's doing everything he can, up to and including now this gas tax holiday gimmick, to try and prove that.
I would hope that that is so wrong, because it just seems like such a waste of time for this administration and for the American people when we really need solutions right now. But Congressman Johnson, it's always good to have you on Morning in America. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good to be with you. Thank you, Adrienne.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.